So the Supreme Court upholds the ban on trans procedures for kids. Y'all like the video right here? And check this out.
A moment ago, the Supreme Court issuing a decision on Tennessee's ban on sex reassignment medical care for minors. The court upholding Tennessee's law that bans certain types of gender-affirming care.
There you go.
Critics calling it a huge setback for transgender rights in the United States. I think ultimately the legal opinion here, according to the Chief Justice who wrote the opinion, is that your state's law is not in violation of the Constitution's 14th Amendment. It does not constitute a form of sex discrimination.
Right. I mean, the takeaway is the Constitution leaves room for the states through their elected representatives to make these big decisions about open questions in science and medical care.
You know this well, sir, but on the other side of this argument, opponents of your state's ban say that the law and now this ruling are huge setbacks for transgender rights. I mean, even Chief Justice Roberts acknowledged in his opinion that voices in this debate are sincere and that the implications for everybody here are profound. What's your messaging to opponents of the ban?
Yeah, I mean, kids who are dealing with gender dysphoria carry a heavy burden, and we should take that seriously, and we should have empathy for them. If you look at the evidence, though, most kids who experience gender confusion in their youth grow out of it unless you medicate them. And if you look at these countries in Western Europe, I mean, the United Kingdom, Norway, Sweden, all these countries that were formerly very keen on this kind of treatment have started rolling it way back and restricting and prohibiting it because the evidence keeps showing that there are huge risks to kids and very little, if any, benefit to them.
We understand that while Tennessee's original law took the ban up against certain kinds of gender-affirming care, but this surgery part of the law, which is highly contentious, as you know, in this country, was not at issue here. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, I think the plaintiffs that were challenging the law knew that that was a pretty heavy lift. And they didn't have anybody who had had surgeries. They had people who were taking the different drug regimes. So they only challenged to the extent that they had plaintiffs who were actually up against the law. But the ruling here covers everything. I mean, according to the court, it is entirely constitutional for Tennessee to have passed this law, and every state has the opportunity to make its own decision about what their law should be.
Well, Mr. Attorney General, thank you for jumping on with us at short notice. We're going to be tracking this issue as it continues.